Of course I missed one. So, quick note before the video starts, this is essentially a follow-up to my previous video about the original Lemmings mobile games released on Java-based phones in the mid-2000s, so if you haven't seen it yet, I recommend clicking on that card that should be popping up any second now, or clicking the link in the description if the card decides to not work for you. If you're still listening to this right now, I'm gonna assume you've watched the other one, so I'll be jumping into the actual video now. After dozens and dozens of web searches, I found these 3 games, and got no other relevant results, no matter what keywords I searched. I assured myself that these were all the ones that were made, and it made sense considering how soon iPhone was acquired after their first Lemmings game. But, as it turns out, iPhone did manage to squeeze out another Lemmings game before the acquisition. A game so weird in its concept and so different from the rest of its franchise that it blows my mind that it even exists. That game being Love a Lemming. So, Love a Lemming is, as the video title implies, an official Lemmings pet simulator, developed by Code Glue and published by iPhone in late 2005. Like all their other games, it is a mobile game, so it only runs on clunky mid-2000s mobile hardware. So getting it to work on modern hardware requires a fair bit of finagling, especially since this game's controls are quite a bit more involved than those of the standard mobile Lemmings games. So keep that in mind, it will come up later. Believe it or not, this game has actual lore behind it. Remember that, when Lemmings games had stories? Well, I guess Puzzle Adventure has a story, kind of, but certainly nothing like this. The game takes place 10 years after the events of Lemmings 2, and by extension Lemmings Chronicles as well, I guess. Anyway, after 10 years of peace, a wicked sorcerer named Polyonymous, if that name's a play on words or something, I'm too stupid to recognize it, takes control of the Lemmings Protection League, or LPL, headquarters, which seems to be some sort of Lemmings orphanage service? This guy is brainwashing the orphaned Lemmings into being his henchmen, which is like really f***ed up if you think about it. The game doesn't bother to explain why he's doing this because it doesn't have much to do with the game itself. More relevant is the band of resistance that manages to rescue some of the brainwashed Lemmings to be raised properly. And this is where you, the player, come in. Someone's gotta take care of these Lemmings, so what's left of the LPL sends you one. Your job is to raise this Lemming until it's ready to be released back into the wild and rejoin its tribe. Simple enough, I suppose, but let's get into the actual game. After giving your Lemming a name, the first thing the game asks of you is to tame your Lemming, since it starts out, quote, feral, wild, and badly behaved. All you're really able to do at this stage is feed it, pet it, and answer any questions it may have for you. Sometimes the Lemming refuses to eat or drink when you buy it food, and the game has some questionable logic when it comes to how to deal with that. It suggests you send the Lemming back to its crate to punish it, and that alone isn't awful, I guess? But then it goes on to explain that the longer the Lemming spends in the crate, the more tame and obedient it gets. Yikes. That is not how it works, guys. It also says that asking again sometimes works, and that it does. I did not send poor Lemmy here to his crate, thank you very much. At certain points, you're supposed to get rewards for keeping your Lemming alive long enough for things like that. Unfortunately, these rewards were given through an online service that absolutely does not exist anymore. You were also given a unique code specific to your mobile phone that would not only allow you to collect these rewards through a PC, but would also potentially let you load the Lemming or Lemmings you've raised into other games down the line, as iPhone actually planned to support this feature in the future. This, I'm pretty sure, actually never happened, as iPhone really didn't even have time to release another Lemmings game before their acquisition this time, and Glue Mobile abandoned the idea, predictably. At some arbitrary point, the game decides that your Lemming is tame, and proceeds to unlock the Minigames. The Minigames serve to develop your Lemming's various skills, as well as rewarding you currency for performing well. Since these minigames will take up a good portion of your time playing this game, it's important that they're decently fun and engaging. So let's take a look at them. First, the Exploder training minigame, Lemming, which I can't even play. Remember how I said it took some finagling to get this game to work? Well, something I did screwed up the number keys, and I have no idea how to fix it, so I can't enter the on-screen code that I need to enter to get rid of the bomb. Well, that's a bummer. Moving on. Jetpack Jive. This game trains the jetpack skill. You get to ignite the jetpack 3 times. If you space them properly, you can blast quite high, and the higher you go, the more emeralds you win. It takes a really long time to ignite the jetpack after you push the button, and it cancels any ignition in progress. So you've got to find the optimal timing, and I have not found it. I just kinda got the max prize once through dumb luck and then never again. This game gets old a bit fast, and I don't understand the exact science behind it. I wasn't really a fan. Now the wind skills minigame, Float Lemming Float. This minigame has multiple difficulties that each train different skills, ballooner, parachuter, and hang glider. This minigame kinda sucks. For the ballooner and parachuter variants, you just hold left or right to dodge the branches as the lemming slowly falls to the bottom. The hang glider variant is at least a bit more interesting, as unless you're constantly switching direction, your lemming will just full send it to the right or left, so this variant at least keeps you on your toes. It's still tedious though, it's samey, it's not visually appealing, and it lasts far too long, this game. Not a fan. Dig for Gold, the Digger and Basher training minigame. It's pretty much RNG. You dig toward the sparkles and hope you get the 15 bagger and not the single emerald. At least it doesn't last too terribly long, I guess. Hasty Lemming, the game that tests the sports skills, as the game calls them. Once again, 3 different difficulties, runner, skater, and skier. It's like a less bad version of Float Lemming Float. It gets old fast and lasts too long, but at least this game is more about reaction time, so you will at least have to be on your toes all the time. Plus, the skier variant has snow, so at least there's some visual variety here. Target Thrower, the game that tests your warrior skills. This game is absolutely nuts. You have to aim and shoot at a randomly placed target, using either the mortar, spearer, or archer. And if you hit it, you get emeralds. Notice how short this game is? You only have to hit 1 target to win. You'd expect them to make you hit like 3 or 5 different targets in a row or something, but no! 1 hit and you're done. You also get infinite tries, which at first I thought was a bug, or massive oversight of some kind. But then I realized that if you only need to hit 1 target to win, booting the player back to the beginning would only serve to be annoying. So I guess it makes sense. Still, all these things make this minigame busted for farming emeralds. Just use the archer, the highest difficulty skill, and play the game over and over. It does not take long to get good at, and it's over in seconds. You can rack up hundreds of emeralds in minutes. Therefore, when playing this game, it basically makes no sense to have your lemming practice anything other than archery. Though, you probably should practice the bare minimum amount for a few other skills. Developing skills is handled through a ranking system. Each rank requires a certain number of emeralds scored to achieve, and these numbers get higher as the rank goes up. To release your lemming successfully, you need to have a decently high rank in at least some skills, or else it will meet its demise somehow, and you wouldn't want that. These numbers can get pretty stupid, considering you generally win about 3 to 10 emeralds for a minigame, so even in the archery minigame, you gotta do some heavy grinding. Alright, I've gotten my archer rank to the "You are the best" rank. Apparently, that rank is a lie because there's one more rank called "You are a super lem," which is unlocked at... Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But most of my other skills are at least a little bit developed, minus the exploder of course. So I think Lemmy here can make it. Let's see. And... I forgot to feed it and let it rest before I released it. Are you kidding me? I didn't even think that would be an issue, and it's not like he was about to starve or anything. Well, I'm not doing that again. This game is not very fun. The minigames are boring. I feel that the Lemming has basically no personality. The grinding is annoying. The economy is bonkers. It's just not a super fun time. I haven't played too many other games like this, to be fair, but I remember those games being much more enjoyable. They were more fleshed out, had more thought put into them, and had better minigames. This, on the other hand, is a game that I just wanted to get through for content.